try this out. Cool. Well, today we are going to try out a live stream of actually playing a physical board game. So I am just testing things, making sure everything works, camera's on. So, alright, so today we're going to play Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship. And so in this game, I will be playing as, well, I'm doing the solo version of this, but we're going to be basically trying to accomplish missions to get the ring to Mount Doom. So it's pretty cool. This game does very well at actually mimicking Lord of the Rings, like the actual story itself. So I haven't set up. I'm going to go ahead and set up on stream. That way, if you've never played it before, you can kind of see how you set up. I do need my book, though, just in case I got any rules questions. So we got our tower. We got to go ahead and set up the Nazguls. So on the board here, there's little Nazgul spots, and that's where they're going to start on. So we have all 9 Nazgul. Go ahead and put them out on the board here. And so this is going to be the first of, hopefully, many in the future live board game plays. So we'll see. See what life throws at me as far as a job and stuff like that goes, and go from there. So, alright, so Nazgul are placed out on the board. I'm missing one. Yeah, it goes there on Gondor. And then the Eye of Sauron goes right there. So, something that you guys will see, I have a camera right here in front of me, and so the intent of this camera is so that way I can use it to show you guys individual cards underneath the left side camera there. And so this is actually the camera that I use for all my Magic live streams, that it's a lot better at picking up cards than the big camera over here. So next we're going to go ahead and sort out our dice. So the white dice are combat dice. I'm just going to set them over here on the left side of the map. And then these are the tower dice, and they're going to go right here by the tower. So I don't need my tokens yet, but I will go ahead and just put them over here also to the right near my tower. And then we're going to assign troops on the board. So when you set up the game, there's going to be little people symbols on the various areas of the board, and so you either set up that many enemy troops or that many friendly troops. So we're going to go ahead around the board here and set them up. So obviously the red guys are the troops of Sauron and the bad guys. So there should be a total, that should be, nope, there's one more. I missed one. Okay. And then we're going to set up all the good, friendly troops on all the positions. Now, it's pretty cool because this game actually separates the different troops into different colors. So the colors match the factions themselves. So you have the elves, you have the Riders of Rohan, you have, you know, the Minas Tirith, the guys there. So, and it follows the story of the books pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish setting up my troops. The cool thing is that after you're done setting up troops, you should have 5 of each color except for the red ones off to the side of the map. And so it's pretty easy to tell whether or not you didn't place everybody out. So I missed 1 dwarven troop. I got to place 4 elven troops real quick. And where's my last dwarf? There he is. That corner one, I always forget about him. Alright, so there's all them. Enemy troops. We're going to get some more enemies out here in a second. So this game utilizes the pandemic system. So if you've ever played any of the pandemic games, this is kind of like that, except that there's combat involved, and you don't automatically start losing stuff if you get too many disease cubes, which are the bad troops on the board. So I need to figure out objectives. I need to figure out who I'm going to be playing as, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a set of the cards to play with and set them off to the side. Just helps me to keep track of what's going on and what goes where. So first, we're going to go ahead. So this deck right here is all of the different locations in the game. So it's pretty cool. The troops, or the bad guys, let me move over to my other, yeah, so that way I can see what I'm showing you guys, because my stream is actually slightly behind. So up here, it's going to show me the path that the bad dudes are going to follow. Now, you'll notice on the back of these cards, there's either banners or flags. Well, flags and banners, I guess. And so, whatever you flip, so say I flip this card over, you're going to follow that half of the card, whether it's a banner or a flag, right? So I would actually follow the bottom here, if it was this card, right? And then we follow the top here. So the top part's going to tell me how troops are going to move. They're going to move around the map here. And the goal is that I defeat the stuff, because the bad guys are going to be basically spreading out all over the place and trying to basically conquer me, right? There's a hope track on the left side of the board here. This is how I'm actually going to lose the game. If I ever lose all my hope, basically, you know, trying to hold it together, we lose the game. So my goal is to basically manage this hope track here and make sure we don't lose. So first, at the beginning of the game, though, we've already set up our troops, right? But now we have to flip over 9 more of these cards, and that's going to give us additional bad guys and kind of show me. It's kind of like Pandemic, right? When you flip over the first few cards, it's going to show me whether, like, kind of give me an idea of what I'm going to be dealing with. So we get a troop in Rune. We get a troop in Rune. We get a troop in Moria. So that's 3, right? 4, Nern, which is the big place over here. 5, Dol Guldur, here in the middle. 6, Umbar, which is down here. 7, Isengard, which is here in the middle. 8, Umbar again. And 9, Moria. So that gives me an idea of, let me make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That gives me an idea of where I need to be looking out for bad dudes. So maybe I should move this, because if I scooch the board down a little bit more, a little bit more, you guys can then see when I flip out the cards here. So my goal is to show you guys what I play underneath this camera here, and then yeah, and then that way, what the hell was that noise? And then also so that way you guys can see my characters that I'm playing as well. So I might have to go upstairs and check what that noise was. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because that was really loud. Hold on. Okay. My neighbor's cutting down a tree, so that's what all that noise was. Alright. So next we got to set up our deck here. And so there are going to be event cards and Skies Darken cards. So kind of like Pandemic, Skies Darken is how you're going to increase the threat rate, which means how many cards you flip, meaning more bad stuff's going to happen. So I want to say in one player... So I've been playing one player standard. So we get 5 events and 5 Skies Darkens. So I need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I've been playing, so we get 5 of those. And then let's shuffle the events, the objectives. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the events. Cool. Oh, I need to shuffle the Skies Darken cards because they are slightly different, so we'll go ahead and do that. Wow, they are making a lot of noise out there right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Next, we shuffle up the event cards in the deck, and I am going to start with 4 cards in my hand. So, when you're playing solo in this game, you actually control all of the characters in the game. So normally, when you play with multiple players, everybody's going to control 2 characters. So, me, I'm going to be controlling 5 characters. And then the cool thing is, unlike Pandemic, one of your characters is going to get to do 5 actions, and then your other character will do 4 and 1. But when you're playing solo, I'm basically going to have to cycle through the different characters, and we'll start at one end and then end up on the other, right? So I've shuffled the deck. I'm going to go ahead and give myself 4 cards, and that's my starting hand. So let's see what we have. I did start with an event. That's good. Rings let me reroll stuff. Cloaks are needed for traveling around the board and making sure Frodo stays hidden. And swords are for combat. So that's a pretty well-rounded hand. And what's our ability? Select any character. They may travel alone up to 2 times. Do not roll for surges. That's really good with Frodo. So we'll put those to the side. Now I have to take these Sky's Darkening cards, and we have to separate the main deck into 5 piles. And you're going to shuffle a Sky's Darkening into each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll do 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I know most people, they set up the game before, but I think it's pretty helpful, especially if you've never played it, to kind of see how the game plays. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. And then we have 2 extra, so we'll just do them like that. The last 2 Skies Darken. And then you're going to shuffle these and basically make a pile, right? And that's going to be our draw discard deck. Off to the right. So you do not lose automatically when you draw out. Instead, what happens is for every card you have to draw that you can't draw, you're going to start losing hope. Which is kind of crappy, but I did get to that point once in my playthroughs, and it was not a good time. So we're just separating these, and then we'll do the 2 piles that are slightly bigger. Put those off to on the top here. And then we're playing on standard difficulty, so we get 4 objectives that we have to finish. One of which is going to be the ring. So let me grab the ring card first. Right there. Discard the destroy the 1 ring. So that's always a mandatory objective you have to do every game. I've been standing this entire time, so I'm going to go ahead and take a seat. And then we'll go over the different objectives that I'm going to have to do. And then they're actually going to probably park over here off to the right. So actually, let me move all my tokens. Because I need to monitor a lot of different stuff while we're playing. Alright, so let's figure out our objectives. So I've started playing through the actual random objectives. So you start with a certain set of objectives in the game as like a starter set, and then you're supposed to like move on from that. I will say the starter objectives are not very easy. I don't know why they thought those were the easiest ones, but okay. So that's our first objective. Second objective, lift the shadow from the Dwarven lands. Complete if all of the following are true. No shadow troops are in Arid Luin, which is all the way in the left corner there. At least 4 Dwarven troops are there, and no shadow troops or shadow strongholds are in the Dale. When completed, the current player may gain 2 attack tokens and gain 1 hope. So, oh god. So that means I have to clear the Dale, which is on the right of all shadow troops, and on the left I have to get 4 troops there. So I just have to record a bunch. So, setup, I have to use Gimli this game. So right now I'm mandatorily obliged to using Frodo and Sam, and I have to use Gimli. Which is fine. I like Gimli a lot. So Gimli is my second mandatory character. So it'll tell you on the cards who you have to use, and then 1 shadow troop is on that spot. Okay, next, lay bare the pits. Now we have to use Galadriel. That's Galadriel, right? No, that's Galadriel. Okay, place 1 additional in Dol Guldur. So this one, Galadriel may do capture action on Dol Guldur if she spends 3 swords as usual, 2 rings, or 2 rings and 1 sword. I have to make sure Dol Guldur is a haven, and that there are at least 3 elven troops in LOTR. So that's not bad. When completed, if Galadriel is in LOTR, gain 1 additional hope. This hope is in addition to the 2 gained from capturing it. So that's pretty good. So that's a good way to get a lot of hope. Because hope is basically your win-loss condition, right? And then our last objective is going to be subdue Umbar. And so for this one, complete if either of the following are true. Umbar is a haven. So where's Umbar at? Down here on the bottom. Or there is at least 1 friendly troop in every location in Herodwraith, which is down here. And there are no shadow troops in Herodwraith. So I can either turn this into a friendly location or basically conquer all of this down here. So, okay, this is going to be a very interesting game. So we have to destroy the One Ring, beat some dudes in the Dwarven area, lay bare the pits. I have a lot of securing objectives, so. But the game automatically set up 3 of my characters, so I will show you here in a second. So I'm going to put our objectives off to the right here. Those are put those off to the side. So we are playing with Galadriel, which means I do need the additional events. So it's pretty cool. There's certain characters that have certain actions that you can do. And Galadriel's is we can get additional event cards, which is pretty good. So here are my objectives off to the right. And we can get rid of the objective deck because that is done. Just throw that back in the box. Okay. Need that token. Alright, so first, let me get out the characters I have to play as. So we have Frodo, Sam, Galadriel, Gimli. So these are my 3 mandatory characters that I have to play as. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to set them under here, and then this little leaf token here, this is the character that I'm currently playing as. So when you're a single player, you actually rotate through your characters one at a time, and basically play through each of their turns in order. So kind of like Pandemic, though, in between your turns, you're going to draw more cards, which makes the game harder, and bad stuff can happen. So. Just making sure the stream is not saying the stream's still going. So, okay. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and shuffle up the deck, and then I'm going to get 2 additional characters. So, alright, so the last 2 characters I will be playing as are Faramir. So I like Faramir, and we'll do this one. Merry and Pippin. So we got Merry and Pippin and Faramir as my last 2 characters. So you could, technically, if you really wanted to, you could just pick your characters if you want to play, but I like to do them random, because that forces me to play different ways every single time. So, okay. Got my book, got my cards over here. These are my additional event cards. Alright, so let me explain playing the game. So, each of your characters is going to have 4 actions. So you have basic actions that you can do throughout the game, so such as recruiting troops, you can attack stuff, you can capture areas, stuff like that. Traveling, fellowship, etc. And I'll explain what I'm doing as we play the game. Additionally, all of your characters also have an additional ability that they can do. Actually, let's go like that, because Gimli technically came out first. So, like, for example, Gimli can actually get these little attack tokens as one of his actions, right? And we can do that once a turn. So, really good. Galadriel, she can get me additional events, which is awesome. Merry and Pippin is really good at getting us more hope. And then Faramir, he's stealthy and he's really good at fighting things, so he actually does ambushes moving around the table. So I really like Faramir. So all of them have a starting location, though, here on the bottom of their card. So I'm going to go ahead and set everybody up where they start at. So, Merry and Pippin start in the Shire with Frodo. Gimli starts in Erebor. And then last but not least, we have Faramir. He's going to start here in Minas Tirith. So, and then we have our hand here that I talked about earlier. And voila, we are set up and ready to play. So, let's see. So the light is pretty shiny on Galadriel here. Sucks because I'm trying to like make it so you guys can see everything all at once. What if we do it like that? Haha! Victory. That's a little better. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and move the characters off to the left there a little bit better. So that way everybody can hopefully see my characters, see my cards. Off here to the right. And we are ready to play. So you also have a maximum hand size of 7. So if we ever have to go above 7 cards, what the hey-ho, camera? Alright, yeah. I need to get myself a 5K camera. That is on my, because the image is pretty blurry, but it does look like you guys can see at least the map itself. It's like the light behind me is just so... crap! Sorry, this is the first live stream, so I want to make sure that everybody can see the map. Let's try that. Nope, now it is like pitch ass dark. Or, this has a light though. Nope. That's really hard to see as well. So, I guess we're going to have to manage with the glare. I'll have to manage with the glare for this game. Alright, that's fine. That's fine, that's fine. I gotta turn off the light here. Okay, and we are ready to play. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the live stream there. That way if anybody says anything... Message these people. Alright, and off we go. So, beginning of our turn, so Frodo's going to get 1 action every single turn, and then Gimli is going to get the other 4 for this turn, right? So technically I get 5 actions total. So, what we are going to do... So every time Frodo moves, we either have to spend a cloak, or we have to roll dice based on how many... of the ring wraiths are in our area. So as an example, I would roll 2 dice if Frodo were to move right now. This right, it's hard to see, I know, but this right here means that I would lose a hope if I'm not in a haven area. This means you just lose 1 hope. And then this one's pretty good because it recalls the ring wraiths back to Mordor. So, but our goal is to basically not stay in the area with the eye, and we need to relocate the eye as much as possible. Reason being, if the eye moves, there's a lot of bad cards if the eye's in your area, so we would preferably not stay where the eye is at. So, which we're going to do, so we're going to start out with Gimli. So, now I can move Frodo and Sam. One of our goals, though, is we need to defeat the bad dudes up in that Aaron Lewin place, and Merry and Pippin get hearts for free. So that means they can recruit some dwarves over there, which is one of our goals. So I think our first objective that we're going to go after is going to be the lift the shadows from the Dwarven lands. So to do that, first let's go ahead and move, because you get to do these in any order, but you have to, you can't split your turn, right? So we're going to go ahead and move Sam and Frodo. We're going to play one of these cloaks here. So that way I can move Sam and Frodo 1 space without rolling. So we're going to go ahead and move to Bree there. So that's Sam and Frodo. Now we've got Gimli, so his first action is going to be to get one of these combat tokens, because we need those to take over areas. So in order to actually conquer individual areas, these radar areas on the map, you have to have 3 swords, either cards or tokens. So we want to gather those up quite a bit. Additionally, he can muster dwarves for free in his area, which is pretty good. I think we want to try to get Frodo moving too, though. Merry and Pippin are going to be our last characters. Okay, our second action is we're going to muster, which means recruit. So Gimli can do it for free. Normally you have to spend heart cards or heart tokens in order to get troops. So Gimli now has 2 dwarven troops with him. So I think what we need to do is get Gimli to the opposite side of the map, essentially. So what we'll do, we're going to move Gimli 1 space for his third action and 2 spaces for his last action, right? So, hey, what up, Aaron? So Gimli's going to move there into the forest. So he still has quite a ways to go, but we have this free movement card in my hand here. So, but I want to save that. So that's the end of Gimli. We've done Frodo and Sam, so that means we have to move on to the last part of the turn here. So let me move to Streamlabs, make sure everybody can see what's going on. Okay, so that means we move to the end of the turn. So first we're going to draw 2 cards off the deck. And so our goal is to, if there's a Skies Darken card, we have to resolve that. We did not get a Skies Darken card, so we're good. Then we move our little token over to our next character. That's who's going to activate next, which is Galadriel. So sorry again for the glare. I tried to make it so that it was readable, but I'll just explain what Galadriel does when we get there. Next, we have to draw cards based on our threat rate, so we're going to have to draw 2 cards. So the first one is a movement card, so we're going to move all the troops from Dunland towards Helm's Deep, which is right here. So Dunland is here, so the troops are going to follow the card, so they move 1 space down here. And then you actually follow all of the little movement lines on the card, like so, to see if any additional troops move, but in this case, we only had the 1 movement, so not a big deal. So we've resolved that. Next, we're going to flip another card. So now we're going to move from Moria towards Minas Tirith, which is way down here. So Moria's here. We move up here. We follow the yellow arrows, which goes to Dol Guldur. These guys move up here. Then we move down here. We move down here. We move down here, and then over here, which in this case, nobody else has moved, so that is it for the troops. You don't add anybody additional because that's actually a bottom ability of these cards. And that is the end of the enemy's turn. So we move on to Galadriel. So her ability, at any time while in a haven, you may spend 1 cloak to randomly draw 1 of the event cards you did not use during the setup. She can also reveal up to 4 cards from the top of the player deck, return them back to the top in any order. That's an action, though. And then if Galadriel and at least 1 elven troop are present when a battle is rolled, you may reroll it to 1 dice. So we needed to get 3 elven troops, go to Dol Guldur, and flip it into a haven. Okay. Well, I have no hearts, which is not good. So I could use one of these cloaks to get a random event. And it is not an action, and you can use it on any player's turn. So I think I want to do that because event cards are really, really good. So we'll discard that, and we'll draw one of these events. So I can remove up to 2 troops in any 1 location. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright. And that was not an action. So next... Oh, I think we do Sam and Frodo moving. But that was my only cloak. So if they move, I'm going to have to roll 2 dice and see what happens. Okay. I think we go ahead and use our card here. So this card right here, Elven Cloaks and Rope, allows me to select any character they can travel by themselves up to 2 times without rolling. So we're going to go ahead and move Sam and Frodo down to Therid and then down to Dunland. So now that they're in an area without the eye and without any enemies, now they can move freely, which is pretty good. So for their actual movement action, we're going to move down to here. So your goal is to actually keep Frodo and Sam out of areas with ring wraiths, but also out of areas with enemy troops, if at all possible. So that's the end of Sam and Frodo's turn, but that's pretty good because now they're in an area with no wraiths and the eye is not on them. So back to Galadriel, which is the one that's difficult to do. So we're going to do her ability here, which is to reveal the top 4 cards of the deck. And then I get to put them back in any order that I choose. So let's look at the top 4 cards. Okay, good. So we have no... we had no Skies Darken cards. So the Council of Elrond. Move any number of characters to Rivendell. You may not bring troops with you. Do not roll a search. One character may pass 1 token or card there. Which I could prepare a card for free. It's kind of hard in single-player mode to prepare cards. So I think I need the Blades. And this card doesn't really do me any good. So we're going to do it like that. We're going to put those back in this order. So, alright, so we put those back on the deck. That's my first action. I still have no hearts, so I still can't recruit anybody. So, she gets to reroll combat, which is pretty good. Sorry, trying to figure out how to resolve this. So she gets 3 more actions. So 1, 2. If I move 3 times, that doesn't really do me any good. She can't recruit. Oh, that sucks. So I think she's going to move 1, 2. She has 3 total actions, and she's going to bring that troop back with her. So, anytime you move, you can either move another character or a troop with you in this game, which is pretty neat. So it allows you, like, basically extra moves if you keep your characters together. Problem is, if you're keeping your characters together, you can't really interact with different parts of the board. So, being as I'm by myself, well, I guess I'm not going to interact with too much of the board on any given turn anyway. So, alright, so that's the end of Galadriel's turn. So we'll rotate the token to Faramir. He'll be the next character. And then let's go ahead and resolve... well, I have to draw my 2 cards. Which we already knew it was coming up, right? But that's good. I now have my 3rd Blade, which I need for several of my objectives. And then we're going to resolve 2 cards here. Ooh, so we have a banner. So Nir Harad is going to get an additional troop. So Nir Harad's down here. And then we have to shift the eye to Frodo's region. So right here you're going to see if the eye was already in Frodo's region, we're going to roll a search to see if we find him, right? And that's always bad. You always don't want to roll searches. So whenever possible, try to keep Frodo out of the eye's area. That was actually a tip somebody taught me online. And it's a good way to, because I saw myself losing, I think the first 4 times I played this game, I lost by myself, so... And then next we're going to resolve a movement. So the Nir Harad troops are going to move up. Now this is a very long path, so I'm going to have to go ahead and follow this path. So we follow it up, 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 up. Goes this way, goes this way, goes this way, goes this way. And then these guys are going to move up to where Gimli is, which that means we now have to resolve a combat. So to resolve a combat, you're going to roll 1 dice for every single troop. So if it's me, I'm going to roll for how many of my troops. If it's them, we're going to roll how many of their troops, right? The cool thing is, whenever you resolve dice, though, you don't resolve a number of dice based on how many troops you actively have. It's how many dice were rolled. So that is something I learned, and so we're going to go ahead and roll 3 combat dice here. Okay, that was a super terrible roll. So if there was any ring wraiths in our area, we would lose 2 troops per one of these, right? We're good. There's no ring wraiths. However, we're going to lose 1 troop here because we are not in a haven. So I'm going to spend one of my rings to re-roll that dice. Okay, so now we defeat one of the enemy troops. Now, I could use my combat cards here to actually defeat more troops. You can basically spend 1 card per troop you want to defeat, but we really need them in this game because we need to conquer Dol Guldur, and we also have to conquer Umbar, possibly. So, I really don't want to lose a lot of my cards, right? So, we're going to go ahead and just resolve it like that. So, we've killed a troop. We're now down to 2 versus 2 in that area. Not too bad. And we get to move on to Faramir's turn. So Faramir, he's pretty good. So when he does a travel action with at least 1 friendly troop, you may do a bonus attack in his destination. So essentially, he gets free attacks as long as he's moving with troops into enemy areas, which is really good. Essentially, you want to kind of ball up with him and then just move into troop areas and wipe him out. Additionally, if you do, you can basically change any dice to an attack a troop for every cloak that you want to spend. Obviously, I have 2 characters vying for cloaks right now, plus Frodo needs cloaks, so yeah, we're going to be spending a lot of cloaks. Whenever he does travel on a special path, so there's different paths on the board that require certain symbols for us to travel on them, he can ignore up to one of those symbols. So which is really good. He essentially gets to move around the board for free. Last but not least, he also has an action. He can draw one of these ring cards, if available, from the discard pile if he's in a haven and in the region named on the card. So each card actually names the region that they're part of. So if he was in Gondor, which he is, I could actually spend an action to get this card back. But right now I'm sitting at 5, and I kind of don't want to get any more cards myself. So, okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and move Faramir. So one of our objectives is to get down to Umbar. So I can either, so if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I can go fight these guys. And I kind of like that idea right now. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason why I like this idea is the fact that I get a free attack, but not only that, there's no ring wraiths. So that means the ring wraith spots on my dice I get to ignore. So, alright. Now let's roll. So I'm going to kill 3 troops, and then they're going to kill 1 of mine. So I think that was a very good exchange. So that's also going to lessen the threat of the enemies as they move up from near Harad up to the top. So because we did have so many cards, though, for down in this area, I actually really want to free this. So what was my benefit for finishing this as well? I can move any number of friendly troops from Wraith to Pelagar. Where is Pelagar? Pelargar. Oh, right here on the edge of the map there. So, okay. So we've resolved that. He is done. That leaves Sam and Frodo to move. So, we're in a sticky pickle here. So I can either move into basically south of Isengard there. I'll have to roll 1 dice, but there's no ring wraiths. Oh, we did do a combat, so that actually moves the eye. Sorry. You know what? 1 dice is not a terrible thing. It's just whether I want to deal with 1 dice with a ring wraiths or 1 dice with a bad dude. So I think I'll do the ring wraith. So we're going to go south down here. Alright. Drop my dice in the tower. And so, boom. I rolled that, which means this ring wraith is going to go back to Mordor. Nice. Okay. And so we've resolved that. Next turn, so we're going to pull 2 more cards. So we got that Council of Elrond and another ring. So to win the game, because that's probably something you're trying to ask about. So ultimately, the goal of the game is to destroy the One Ring, right? Just like in the stories. However, in order to do this, we have to do all of our other objectives first. So we have to get Sam and Frodo all the way to the end to Mount Doom, just like in the story. But we have to spend 5 rings when we're there and survive the roll. So essentially we don't want to lose all of our hope at the end of the game. So that's not the hard part. The hard part is resolving all of these objectives before getting there and keeping Sam and Frodo from getting spotted and unalived. That's probably the best way of putting it, right? So, yeah, that's kind of our goal right now, is to do that. So, I'm just trying to think. Because the Council of Elrond card is not too bad. I actually kind of wanted to do that. On Merry and Pippin's turn. So let's go ahead and resolve the pull of the cards. So Rune's going to get another troop. Rune is this one over here. And then shift the eye to Frodo. And then we get another troop movement. So near Harad. So thank God I killed everybody down there, right? So move, 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 move. And then that's going to cause this troop to move into Helm's Deep. Now, the crappy part is whenever you resolve combat in an area with no leaders, so basically our character models, right? We can't spend any cards. So in this case, I can't reroll this dice if I roll badly. So I'm hoping I at least kill the bad dude. So we both kill each other, which is not bad, because if I had died and there was an enemy troop there, I would actually flip this into a enemy stronghold, and we would actually lose 3 hope, which is pretty much half of our hope, right? So it's really hard to keep yourself out of situations like this, but in this case, got pretty lucky. Okay, so we've resolved those 2 cards, we've drawn our 2 cards for the turn, and now it's going to be our turn. So first, we're going to do the Council of Elrond. So this allows me to bring any number of characters of Rivendell. So we're going to bring Gimli, and we're going to bring Sam and Pippin, or, sorry, Merry and Pippin over there. And then we don't bring troops with us. We do not roll a search. One player with a character in Rivendell may then prepare a card. So we're going to go ahead and prepare one of our combat cards that we got earlier. So that way I get to get another combat token. That still leaves me with the 3 combat tokens, but right now I'm trying to hoard my rings. So, and then that's it for that, and that is not an action. So now we get to do our actions. So Merry and Pippin, they get to prepare a heart for free as an action. I am going to do that every single time because hearts are very important for recruiting troops. And then their other thing is they can spend 3 hearts to gain 2 hope if they're with Frodo, which we're not right now. So I think Merry and Pippin, so they can recruit. We have a heart. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to spend the heart to get another elven troop. So now we have 2 elven troops with us. Oh wait, but we got the heart earlier. So I can only move 2 spaces. Crap. And Galadriel's 2 turns away. Alright, let's think this through. So he still has 2 more actions. I'm trying to think of a way to get those... No. Okay, sorry. I'm going to take the heart back. Let's cancel that. So I still have 3 movement. Okay. So what we're going to do instead... so you can move through spaces with enemies for free. It's just you can't fight them unless you have... sorry. They fight you if they move in with you. Because essentially, like, we're sneaking past them, if that makes sense, with our little bit of troops. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Merry and Pippin with the 1 troop down to here. So that's action 2. We're going to spend one of our rings here. I'm going to spend the Dale. Okay. We're going to spend a ring to move through this path here to these troops. So that's 3, and then we're going to move down to Lorien as their 4th action. Reason why I'm doing this, Galadriel, if we can get the... that'll give me the 3 elven troops, and then we'll go over here to Dol Guldur and knock out that objective. So that's Merry and Pippin. Next we get to move Sam and Frodo. So there's no bad dudes here except for the eye. So I would have to roll for a search, but because there's no ring wraiths and there's no enemies, I don't have to roll one. So yay, positive, because there's nothing to roll. So we'll move there, and that's going to carry on to our next turn. So Gimli is going to be next. Let's resolve, pull 2 cards. Still no Skies Darkened, so that's a good sign. So hopefully I can knock out actually 1 objective before we actually get a Skies Darkened card. So that's the first thing, and then we're going to go ahead and resolve the cards here. So Dol Guldur does get another bad dude there, and then move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo, so they move 1 space. So I get to choose if we are tied. So I'm going to move 2 ring wraiths from here over, because their goal is to try to find me. And then we're going to go ahead and resolve this one. So now all the enemies are moving from Mordor, which sucks because this is always pretty complicated. So these move here, these move over here. Blue, 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 blue. Okay, so that's not good, because now we have 2 enemies inside of the Elven Stronghold up there at the Woodland Realm. Oh, come on, dice. Don't fail me now. Okay, so we kill one of them, but they do not kill us because we are in a stronghold. So they lose 1 troop, and that actually causes the eye to move. Oh wait, it's only in battles that eye cause, sorry. Never mind. I did that wrong last game too. Okay, so now Gimli is going to be next. So, let's see. I have lots of hearts now. Sam and Frodo, you guys are just vibing down there. So Sam and Frodo, we don't want to get them too close to Mordor quite yet. So I think what we're going to do... I don't have any cloaks, so they can't use that path. So they're just going to do a normal move down to here. So that's their turn. And then Gimli... I mean, I got him close, but it's still going to take him 4 moves to get over to the area he needs to be in. And that's supposed to be an elf troop right there. Okay. We're going to just use all 4 of his move. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go all the way over there. I think. Yeah. Is there no better way of doing that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's a better way to get Gimli there without spending his entire turn. But there is not. Ugh, this is going to suck. Because right now I am at maximum cards. So should I use my event card? I really don't like using these event cards this early. There's a chance I get a Skies Darkened, so I'm going to end up with a... I'm not going to end up over my hand limit anyway. So, okay. That's how we're going to do it. Galadriel's going to be next. So, go ahead and pull 2 cards. No! Oh my god, we got another event. Okay, we will go ahead and play the Orc card then. That way I'm not over my... Because you can play these at any time. As far as I know, there's nothing that stops me from doing this. And we're going to go ahead. I get to remove 2 orcs from any one location. Oh, God. I think I have to remove... I think I have to remove the orc up in the woodland realm, because if they move 1 more space, I'm going to lose 3 hope. So I'm going to remove this 1 orc right here. Just because I know there's a lot of movement cards for this area. So what was the card I got? Select a location. All characters in that location may travel all together up to 3 times. You may not bring troops with you. You may not use special paths. If Frodo travels, you have to make a roll. Okay. So I can move up to 3 spaces without troops. That's not too terrible. So, okay. That was that. I didn't get a Skies Darkened card, oddly enough. So that means it's got to be this coming turn. Alright. So, the eye is already with Frodo. There's no bad dudes, so I don't have to roll search. And then we add a troop and Nirn. And then this is another movement. So now we're moving from Moria. So Moria goes to here. Then this goes up to here. Nothing there. See, good thing I got rid of that because we would have lost Erebor that turn. So, it's almost like I had a bit of hindsight there. Alright, Galadriel's turn. Let's start knocking out some objectives, guys. Okay. So, what we will do... Okay, so it's Galadriel's turn. Alright, so Frodo, what are you going to do this turn, bud? So I think for Frodo's turn, he moves down into this into this area right here to be safe. And then for Galadriel, so she's going to move 1, 2. Okay, so 2 is to spend a card and recruit an elven troop. So we get one of these green troops with her. And we're going to go ahead and spend 3 combat cards for her 4th action, which is going to let me capture Dol Guldur. And that's going to complete our first objective. So whenever you capture one of these red areas, you turn it into a safe hold here. And the neat thing is now troops are not going to spawn in these areas. So it's kind of like a way to shut off a spawn point, which I love. And so we've completed this objective. So Galadriel may capture... Oh, I could use 2 rings instead. I would actually rather use the 2 rings and a sword. So we'll actually keep the 2 sword tokens that I got, because I actually need the swords for another objective. So, okay. So complete if Dol Guldur is a haven and there are at least 3 elven troops there, which there is. If Galadriel is in Dol Guldur, gain 1 additional hope. So I would actually gain 3 hope, but that puts me at the top of my hope track. So we'll go and flip that objective over, and that is the first one completed. So, Faramir is going to be next. So, I guarantee you, one of these 2 cards that I draw is going to have to be a Skies Darken card. We are well overdue for one, so... There it is. So, we get a sword. Alright, Skies Darken. Increase the threat rate by 1. So, the higher threat rate gets, the more cards we're going to be pulling at the beginning of our turn. So, alright. If the eye is in Frodo's area, which it is, lose 2 hope. So, this is part... Oh, wait. Sorry, I took over that area, so the eye actually won't be with me. My bad. Add 3 troops to Southern Mirkwood, which is going to be here. Nope. Where's Southern Mirkwood? It's in this area right here. Okay, so add 3 troops there. Shuffle the discard pile and place it back on top. So just like Pandemic, we're going to go ahead and shuffle all the cards we pulled, and then these are going to go on top. So there's a very high likelihood that we're going to pull a card that we've already got, right? So, and that's also part of why, like, you want to make sure that you pay attention where everything's being spawned, because we don't want to get overwhelmed in those areas. So, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this real quick. Those guys cutting that damn tree outside is making a lot of noise right now. So I think what I'm going to do for future streams, we'll figure out a way to fix the glare, especially with my little sub camera here. I really hate the fact that you guys can't see some of these cards because there's so much glare here. So we'll try to fix that, and I would like to upgrade the camera here in the middle to like a 5K camera. That way it's just easier for you guys to see and read the board. Because I'm noticing it is a little blurry on the screen there. So just future upgrades that we'll do here. Alright. Put these on top. So our threat range, we are still at 2 cards. So let's go ahead and flip to top 2. So Umbar is going to get another troop. Umbar's down here. And then deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. So the Eye is currently up here. And so that's also what you want to do. You want to go ahead and misdirect the Nazgul to different areas of the board. And then we're going to do some troop movements from Dunland. So they're going to move here, here, and down into Helm's Deep. But nobody is there. So, alright. Pretty lucky. I think we're getting real lucky this game. Alright, so we're on to Faramir. Okay, so for Faramir, he has to conquer Umbar, or wipe out all of the troops in that area, right? No, at least 1 friendly troop in each area, okay. So, I have an idea. Okay, So Frodo's turn, he's going to move here with these troops. Yeah, he's allowed to do that. I don't have to roll a search because the eye and no bad dudes are there. Next, Faramir's turn, so I can do 1, 2, 3. We're going to go 1. Oh, sorry. 1. And then we're going to take all these troops and go 2. And because of my ambush ability, I am allowed to roll an attack for moving with all these troops. Sorry, I'm just making sure that there's no Nazgul in here before rolling these dice, because that would be bad. Okay. So I'm going to lose 2 troops. He's going to lose 2 troops. And then there's no Nazgul there, so I don't have to roll that. I'm just making sure. Okay. Cool. Alright, I think for my third action, we're going to go ahead and just roll another attack. So I'm going to try to take this out this turn. Because this will give me... It's just going to take care of another area so we don't have to deal with bad dudes. And I have 2 rerolls, so third action, roll. Kill 1, lose 1. Okay. I just need 1 troop to survive. Fourth action, let's go ahead and attack. And I rolled a kill. So that was my 4th action. We'll take him out. The shitty part, though, is because I used all of my actions just combating, I now don't have the ability to take it out by conquering. So that sucks. I would have liked to have conquered it, but who's next? Merry and Pippin? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to think of a way, because if I can get Merry and Pippin down there with 1 action, they can actually conquer it this turn. I'm just thinking about 2 hobbits strolling into this stronghold and just like whooping some ass. So, okay, yeah, I think that's where we're at there, and that's everybody's turn. So, we'll go ahead. Merry and Pippin will be next. Draw 2 more cards. Got 2 hearts, so that's pretty good. We're doing really good right now. This is where I cursed myself. Okay, Drums of War. Add 1 shadow troop to every stronghold in Mordor. So that's red troops in all of these areas right there. And second card. Add 1 troop to Near Harad. God damn it, I just took them out. And then if the eye's there, okay, we got to move the eye to where Frodo is. Cool. End of that turn. So the game starts going much faster as we get through. It's just, it was a little slow at the beginning because I wanted to kind of explain if you've never seen the game, or like if it interests you, you can kind of watch a little bit of how it's played. So, all right. So Merry and Pippin. So what would we like to do here? So we can get a heart for free. We can lure some Nazgul to Merry and Pippin. It just sucks because if I use the... Actually... Ha! I just had an idea. Okay, we're going to use this card. Rohan lends horses. So select a location. Any character on that location may travel all together up to 3 times. So we're going to move Merry and Pippin 3 times. So this is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, this will work out. And that's it. Oh, I have to remove this guy's Darkened card from the game. Sorry. Now we get 4 actions, so let's go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to move Frodo and Sam with us 4. So now all of us are down here. So for Sam and Frodo's one action, I have 3 swords here, and they're going to go ahead and use their action to conquer Umbar. Yay, hobbits! We conquered. So normally you want to save this, save these actions to basically get your hope up, because every time you get 2 hope, right? It kind of sucks that there's no built-in mechanic that I get something for the fact that my hope track is maxed out, but, you know, it is what it is. So we've subdued Umbar. So Umbar is now a haven, and we can move any number of friendly troops from Herod Wraith up to Pelagar. So make sure. Yeah, it's either or. So we'll go ahead and move this 1 troop up to Pelagar, because what we're going to do is that, I guess when it's Faramir's turn, he can move with everybody else, and we can kind of start moving them up the board here. So, but that completes our second objective. Didn't really get very much out of that. So our big one right now is that we need to defend the Lewin up there and recruit 3 more dwarves. So, which, if everything goes as planned, on Gimli's turn, we can recruit 3 more dwarves. But then we have to roll that many dice. We'll see. I guess I could re-roll some dice if I needed to. So, and there's still some ring rates up there, which is not good. So we'll have to see what happens. All right, let's go ahead and draw our 2 cards. So we got another ring and another heart. I have a lot of hearts right now. So, and remember, we do have to have 5 rings before we get to the end of the game, and I'm lacking cloaks as well, because we need cloaks to sneak through Mordor here and avoid all the troops, right? So we might end up spending a lot of our hope, because one of Sam and Frodo's abilities is that when they move into an area with red troops, you can ignore all the red troops. If I do, though, I lose 1 hope, and then I will move to him, which means that I have a higher chance of losing more hope as the game goes on. But it's very good, especially because you roll however many dice of red troops, and you can see right now Mordor is just completely full of bad dudes. So yeah, we definitely want to avoid that. Oh, I would actually move there because we did conquer that last turn. So, pulled my cards. Now I got to resolve these. So I have to roll a search. I'm good though because there's nothing going on down there. And then move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo. So now there are Nazgul in Frodo's area. And then a troop would actually be added to Dol Guldur, but it has been taken over by me. So, hey, that's good. All right, Gimli. So I think what we do, he can muster for free, which is very good. I don't have any cloaks, but I do want to actually spend some hearts. So we're going to spend 2 hearts and then muster the 1 heart and muster the other 2 for free. So I'm going to get 3 dwarves. Well, hold on. What do I get for doing this? Gain 2 attack tokens. Okay. Yeah, okay. We're going to recruit 3 dwarves up here. And for our last action, let's go ahead and attack. So roll the 3 dice. That was very, 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 very bad. So I'm actually going to lose all 4 of my troops. So, reroll. Okay. Am I good losing 2 troops? That was a really bad roll. Yeah, I'm good losing 2 troops because the fact of them coming up here is actually not very high. So we'll go ahead. I've defeated them. It's going to cause the eye to move up here because I did some combat. But the bad part is that now I still need to recruit 2 more in order for me to actually complete this objective. So can't quite move Sam and Frodo up to Mordor yet. So we're going to go ahead and again we can move any number of characters with us whenever we move. So with Sam and Frodo, they're going to move up here to a friendly area, and we're going to take all of those characters with us. So, and that will be the end of Gimli's turn. So let's draw 2 more cards. 2 combat cards, okay. And then we'll pull 2 more cards. So we're moving from Moria now. So Moria over and then up. And then these guys are moving over here and attacking me. Yeah, so that's 4 against my 2. So let's roll 3 dice. I am going to lose 3 and they're going to lose 1. And I can't reroll anything, so I lose both my dwarves. They lose the 1 troop. Okay. And then that was it for movement there. And then we're going to go ahead and resolve another one. Dol Guldur, and then move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo. So the 2 that we were just with will move up into our area there. Alright, and then on to Galadriel's turn. So we don't have any cloaks, so her special ability doesn't really matter. I think that she's on damage control right now. So we have 2 attack cards. I don't have to recruit anybody else, really. Because the ones I do have to recruit are all going to be over at Gimli, and those are going to be free. So I think what we do, we're going to move over here. And we're going to go ahead and attack those guys. So her ability is as long as there's at least 1 elven troop with her, we get to reroll 1 dice. So 3 dice. So I'm going to kill 2 and lose 1, but I'm going to go, lose 2. But I'm going to go ahead and reroll the Nazgul dice. Alright, so they're going to lose 3, we're going to lose 1. I am cool with that. That was a good exchange. That's going to move the eye over here. So that was her second action. She moved, she attacked. Oh, we'll go ahead and spend one of the swords to finish what we were doing. Okay. Third action, she's going to move up here and attack again. No, wait, third. Now, we'll move up. Fourth. And she's just going to defend that, defend the woodland realm up there. I think that's what she's going to do. Because right now we've cleared out the center here. We did cause combat there, so that's going to move up. And last but not least, we got Frodo, who gets to move. Or do something. So I think what we do, we just move everybody over 1. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move all of these this way. So right now Frodo's in the position of possibly going into Mordor. We still need more rings though. So that's kind of a hang up right now. But we've kind of cleared out all the troops. This is like not anything that I've really ever done, where I've killed almost everything. The problem is nothing has moved out of Mordor, so Mordor is just still filled with bad dudes. So, but we haven't lost any hope, so let's see what happens. So let's draw 2 cards. Okay, Eagles. Move 1 character to any location. If Frodo moved this way, move the 7 closest Nazgul directly into his region and shift the eye there, then roll a search. But you can move them to anywhere. So I could move to Mount Doom if I got the 5 rings. Just saying. Just saying. Just fly over it and throw the ring in. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we did that. Let's pull our 2 cards. So we get another bad dude in Rune. God damn, there's so many dudes there. And then move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo. And then Moria is moving out again. But they're using a different path, the green path. So Moria goes here, down to here, down up there. Yeah, there's no bad dudes there, so we're good. Okay. Alright, that's the end of that turn. So on to Faramir. Okay. So he can draw rings once per turn, but they have to match the region he's in. And he has to be in a haven. So we did have a ring, though, for Gondor, didn't we? Yeah, right there. I am at 7 cards, though. Okay. So what we're going to do, 1, 2, we're going to move up there with our troop. 3, we're going to recruit 1 blue troop. 1 blue troop to me. And then 4, we're going to go ahead and get that ring back. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that ring back. Okie dokie. Man. I really kind of want to fly over fucking Mount Doom and just throw the ring in. I kind of want to get to the 5 rings and just try it that way. I think that would be a hilarious end. Okay, so that's the end of his turn. Let's draw 2 cards. Oh my god. So there's a cloak, so I definitely need that. So I think I get rid of these hearts. Yeah, I get rid of these hearts. Oh, Frodo gets to move. Frodo moves there. Okay. I forgot to move him. Do I get... or the combat? Let's get rid of the sword, actually. I think I'm in such a position right now, swords kind of don't do very much for me. Okay, so it's going to be Merry and Pippin's turn. Drew my cards. Draw 1 here. So Nirn. So that's here. So moves here. Then these guys move down here. Then this whole blob moves here. And then up and over here. All the way to Helm's Deep. So that's bad. That is 9 troops right there. So, yeah. Next. Umbar. Umbar up, over, over, over. We're good. Okay. Okay, Merry and Pippin. Alright. So I can move 3 Nazgul with me. Okay, so Merry and Pippin, I think they're going to run interference right now. So first, their first action, we'll go ahead and get a heart for free. So we have 3 more actions. So let's go 2, 3, and then I'm going to play that card, the Gaze into Palantir. That's going to move both of these. Oh, any 3 Nazgul. So we'll move those 2. And one of the ones from over here. There, along with the eye. And then for Merry and Pippin's 4th action... Fuck. We'll move into Helm's Deep. Yeah, we'll move into Helm's Deep. Okay. Sam and Frodo... So they are just going to move south into Herod-Wraith. I need to make a sprint into Mount Doom. But I can't do that until Gimli finishes what he's doing. So I think my hope is that Gimli finishes his objective this turn. Oh god, that's going to be risky. Because what I could do is lose 1 hope right now, move into this area with the 9 troops, but then that's going to move the eye into Frodo's region. That's not necessarily the worst, though. And then that way, if I draw a cloak, I can go into Mordor this coming turn. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Okay, we're going to lose a hope, move the eye over there. Okay. That's what we'll do. Alright, let's draw 2 more cards. Knew it! There's Sky's Arkin. Alright, increase the threat range by 1. The eye is in Frodo's area now, so we're going to lose 2 more hope. Add 3 bad dudes to Mount Doom. Oh, wow. Okay. That's not good. That's where I need to go. And then we're going to reshuffle the deck. Oh, and that was Merry and Pippin's turn. So we're back to Gimli. So we'll be able to finish... we're going to finish this last objective, but I did not get the cloak that I was hoping to get. So that is not good. So we're probably going to have to move Sam and Frodo out of where they're at, because we can very easily lose the game right now. So, okay. +1 to near Harad. Shift the eye to Frodo's region. If the eye is already there with Frodo, we have to roll a search. So, you roll a dice for every single thing on Frodo's space. So currently right now there is 9 enemies. So we're going to roll 7 dice because that is the maximum we can roll. And I can re-roll them with these rings, but I really don't want to. This is going to be so bad right now. I swear if I lose the game because of this. Okay. So we only lost 2 hope out of that roll. Okay. That could have been way worse. Oh my god. Oh shit. That is terrible. Okay. And then for each eye, what is it? We return... If Nazgul are present, recall to Mordor. So there's no Nazgul present. Okay. Move. Alright, so from Nirn, yellow, yellow, Mountain Doom up to here, and then from here over to here. Okay, Minas Tirith is not looking too hot right now. Okay, on to Gimli. Okay, friends. It does not say that we can't move troops with us. The Eagles card. So what I'm going to do, first 2 actions, we're going to recruit... You know what? There's so many bad dudes down here. I'm going to use 3 actions to recruit 3 troops, which is going to finish this. Yeah, so no shadow troops. At least 4 dwarven troops are there, and no shadow troops or shadow strongholds. So, in the Dale. Got it. We get 2 combat tokens for finishing this, and we get 1 hope. So we have finished that objective. So, I'm going to go ahead and use my Eagles card, because I get to teleport 1 character to any location. It does not say I can't move the troops with me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move all of these troops with Gimli, and we're going to teleport down here to Minas Tirith. And we're going to make this just like the end of freaking Return of the King. We're just going to have one massive battle down here at Minas Tirith. And then we're going to go ahead and move Sam and Frodo out of that area because I can't risk... yeah, I cannot risk what happened last turn. So, okay. So that's the end of Gimli's turn. We'll go ahead and pull 2 cards. Ring and a sword. So I'm up to 8 cards. I have to get rid of 1. Let's get rid of a sword. Yeah. I need more cloaks. I really do. Okay. Pull 3 cards real quick. So Dol Guldur doesn't get any troops. Move 2 closer to Frodo. Okay. Second, Moria. So Moria over, up, over, and then these troops are going to move up and attack Galadriel. So roll 3 attacks on Galadriel. So we will lose... So I can reroll 1 dice due to Galadriel's ability. So they will lose 3 troops, we're going to lose 1, and that kills all of them. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay. So that's second card. Third card. Nirn is going to get another guy. And then shift the eye to Frodo's region. Boom. Right there. So part of it, if you guys are noticing, I'm actually bouncing Frodo between two different areas, and the reason why you do that is basically we're trying to shorten how many searches that the eye gets on us, right? So trying to make it tricky on Sauron, basically, because he searches that whole zone. So if he just bounces between these three areas, like in a triangle, I'm essentially shifting out of the eye's range. So we're going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep playing that game. Okay, cool. So if Rune moves at all, I am probably screwed. So we're on Galadriel's turn. So her first action, we're going to do her Mirror of Galadriel. So we get to look at the top 4 cards of the deck and put them back in any order. So let's see what's coming up. So Skies Darken was going to be this turn. So we're going to shift the cloaks up. So we pull 3 cards, right? Okay, we're going to shift like that. I need these cloaks. I need one more ring. Okay. So we're going to do that. So that's 1. 2. Checking out my cards right now. Okay. So one of the actions we can do is prepare a card. So you can discard a card with its location as long as we're in that area to basically get one of that symbol. So her second action is we're going to prepare this ring so that I can get rid of a ring card. So that's 2. 3. I think I want to try to get another event card. I don't know. So we need 5 total cloaks to get into Mount Doom. And we know we're not going to get it next turn. So I think what we do, we need to shift Frodo and Sam here. Next turn, which we know we're going to get a Skies Darken card, we shift Frodo and Sam across the border into Mordor. And I think now is when we try to get the ring into the volcano. No, I can't do that. Because a single roll can end me. Well, I am getting 2 more cloaks. Okay. Okay, so she still has 2 more actions to do. And she can't cause havoc up there. Because if we could conquer something, I could get... Okay. She's going to move 1, 2 right there. So I think she'll move towards Moria, and we'll try to take it out on her next turn if we get there. Alright, so Sam and Frodo need to move. We're going to just move them south here. No. We're going to move them over here, and I'm going to spend a cloak. Because you can spend a cloak to not roll a search. Because I'm about to draw 2 more cloaks, which we already know. So let's draw the 2 cloaks. And that's going to allow me on this turn to get into Mordor. And then we just basically have to play hooky and try not to die. Okay, that's our goal. All right. So let's go ahead and pull 3 more cards. So Moria is going to get a troop. Deploy 3 Nazgul from Moria to the eye. So you have to deploy from the largest group first. So that's still the largest group. And then we get to pick where we want to move the next one. So let's go ahead and pick Mirkwood as well. Okay. So that's 3. Next, we're going to have a move from Dol Guldur. So up, down, down. Okay. So these troops are starting to move. And last, oh, well, I have that one flipped over. Add 1 shadow troop to each place in. So that throws off what I was doing a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, cool. And that is the turn. All right. So we will go ahead and move Sam and Frodo across the border, I think. Can you prepare at any location? Hold on, let me look. At a Haven, sorry. Oh, you can spend hearts to ignore. Okay, I forgot about that. I have a lot of hearts. So I'm going to spend my 2 cloaks. We're going to move Sam and Frodo, and we're going to go into Mordor. So there's 1 troop there. We'll go ahead and I'm just going to roll this on camera here. So I would lose 1 hope. I'm going to spend a heart to ignore that. Actually, let's spend, let's spend 1 of the heart tokens to ignore that. Okay, we have successfully infiltrated Mordor. So right now we need to get 1 more ring and get them there. That's our goal. Okay, simple enough. Next we have Faramir going. So because we have so many damn troops and I would like to kill these guys, we're going to go ahead and just move everybody over there. Alright. Rolling an attack. So it's 6 against 8 of us. Okay, so there's no ring rates, so both sides are going to lose 2. I'm fine with that. And then we're going to spend 2 combat tokens so that they lose 2 more. So we're going to kill 4. So I kill 4 of them, and I'm going to lose 2 of mine, so we'll lose the 2 blues. So that's first action. Second action, we're going to move back into Minas Tirith. So that was 1, 2. Question is, do I just keep hitting and running? Because I could move back out, attack, and then move back in. Yes, I think that's actually probably a good idea, because right now there's no Nazgul. So we'll move out, attack again. So I'm going to lose 2, they're going to lose 2. Am I fine with that? I am fine with that. They lose 2. That actually moves the eye out there. And then we're going to move back. Alright, so we moved out, attacked for free, moved back. We just bounced back and forth. However, I did lose almost all my troops in that 1 combat. So we'll see what happens. Alright. Draw my 2 cards. We already know it's a Skies Darken card. Okay, increase the rate by 1. If the eye is in Frodo's region, it's not. Otherwise, move the eye to where Frodo is. Add 3 troops to Dorwinion. Shuffle the discard deck and pull. Oh, this could be really bad though, because I have no way out now. Okay. Alright. We get 3 cards, right? So first, Moria moves over, and that's it. There's no other bad dudes. Roll a search in Frodo's region, and near Harad gets 1. So we're going to roll 1 dice. Lose hope. I am going to spend a card to ignore that. And last, roll a search, and Nern gets another 1. So we're good. And that's that turn. On to Merry and Pippin. Oh my god. So I do not have a 3rd sword right now. So I was almost thinking that I could just like try to go for one of these easy areas to get my hope up. Because if I conquer one, right, I get 2 hope. but I'm missing one sword. If I had one more sword, we could have went for that, but we do not. So we're going to go ahead and prepare. We're going to get a heart for free. And then they are currently in Rohan. Okay. There's nothing I can prepare there. Okay. So I know for sure I don't have any cards that move, because Isengard hasn't moved at all, right? So the chances of it moving down and coming after Helm's Deep are low. And Galadriel's here in 2 turns, so let's go 1, 2, 3. And you know what? We'll spend a heart, I think, at Helm's Deep to recruit, right? No. No. Take that back. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason why I'm doing that, because I'm going to have to roll 3 dice anyway, and I resolve all of them. So it's actually going to give me like an extra combat action for being in the way. So I'm kind of gaming the game a little bit, but alright, let's draw our 2 cards. Oh, Sam and Frodo have to go. Well, shit. They can't do anything with where they're at. And there's 0% chance that I'm going to get... Well, let's move up here. Yeah. This is hard. This is really hard. Okay, rolled a blank, so I'm good. Alright. We'll go ahead and pull our 2 cards. There's my cloak. Okay, okay. I still need one more ring, though. Ah, fuck. I still need one more ring. Okay. What happened to all the bad dudes on Mount Doom? Did they move? Oh, they did. They moved earlier when that huge troop moved. Okay. Alright. Pulled my 3 cards. So Moria's moving. There's nobody in that path. Add 1 shadow troop to each of these areas. Okay. And last but not least, Dol Guldur. So there's nobody in that path. So we're good. Alright. Back to Gimli. So we can gain a combat token for free. Let's do that. So we gain a combat token for free. So that's 1. That troop should have been there. 1. And then 1, 2, 3. No, let's not do that. First, okay. Taking back Gimli's turn. We'll do Frodo's turn first. He's going to use the 1 cloak to move across this pass into the area. There's 3 troops there. Roll my search dice real quick. Okay, I'm going to lose 1 hope. I'm going to spend this heart card to ignore that. And so then here, if there were any Nazgul, they would be repelled. We're good. Okay. Now we're going to get a free combat. And Galadriel's going to go after Moria on her turn. Assuming I don't pull the ring and am able to win the game. So we'll do that. What else do I do? I need to save these hearts to save my hope. Oh, we need to cause battle. That's what we need to do. So 1, 2, we're going to move, so that's 2, 3. Fourth action, I'm going to attack. Because I need to get the eye to move off of Frodo. Attack, we're both going to lose 1. I'm fine by that. And that's going to move the eye into Ithilien. Okay. Cool. That's good with me. Alright. Pull 2 more cards. I need a ring. 2 hearts. Fucking Christ. Okay. Alright, so first card. We have to shift the eye there. Troop added to Nirn. Second card. Dol Guldur. We're good. Move 2 of the ring wraiths closer to me. So they both move 1 spot closer. And third card. Move 2 ring wraiths closer to me. And Rune gets yet another bad dude. My god. Okay. And that was everything. So back to me. It's Galadriel's turn. Alright, now we do have the swords to do this. So first we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, attack. We get 2 dice. I get to reroll 1. I'll take that. Kill 1, lose 1. Moves the eye. 3, and then she's going to spend 3 swords to conquer Moria. And the reason why we're doing this, A, it takes over another area, makes it a stronghold. Means more bad dudes not coming, but also it gives me 2 hope. Because right now I am just skirting by. Sam and Frodo are going to move into Mount Doom. I do have to roll a search though, because there's 2 ring wraiths there. So I would lose 1 hope. We're going to spend 1 of these hearts to ignore that. Okay. Draw 2 more cards. It's going to be Faramir's turn. There's my ring. I have 5 rings now, everybody. So let's see what happens. Alright, Dunlin, which is here. They're going to move the yellow path. Nobody's on the yellow paths. Next, shift the eye to Frodo's region. Add another monster on Umbar, which Umbar's taken. And then purple path. Nobody's on there, so we're good. That was all 3 cards. Okie dokie. Let's try to finish the game. So, all other objectives are complete. Boom. As an action, I can spend 5 cards, or 5 rings, to roll a final search, adding 1 die for each missing hope. So that's my 5 rings. So the search right now is going to be 2 because there's 2 ring wraiths, plus 2 because I'm missing 2 hopes. So it's going to be 4 total. And if you look at the board, right now I have 6 hope. So the chances are I win the game. So let's just roll, see what happens. So I would lose 3 hope in this case. We're just going to spend 3 hearts to ignore that, leaving me with 1 card. And I have completed the last objective, finishing the game, boom, with 1 cloak left. So, yeah, that's Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship. So I really love this game. It really captures the whole back and forth of like, hey, I have to do different things, got to move troops here. And you probably noticed there was a lot of like thinking there in the middle because you have to figure out how to get Frodo where he needs to go without essentially losing the game, right? When I moved here, you know, with the 9 troops, and had to roll the 7 dice that one time, there was actually one game where I rolled 7. I lost 7 hope in a single turn. Right. I had no hearts, and I instantly lost the game. Right. So there are it's kind of a risk reward thing because dice are dice. And so I actually rolled really well when I rolled the 7, and I only lost 2 hope, right? So, but the different characters, it's really cool because they all play completely differently. I have yet to actually get a group together. This is one of the games that I want to play with my group, but there are 8 more characters, right? So you can play, Gandalf, Gollum's really good, Eomer, Boromir, Eowyn. They all have their abilities and their pros and cons of all of them, right? Like Gandalf is really good at combat, right? He's a wizard. So, but I love this game. It's really cool, and so hopefully this turned out pretty good as a very first live stream. Again, I'll get a better camera. I think that this camera will work out at least as far as a and maybe I just have to move it closer. Let's see. Do a little bit of testing real quick. Yeah, because if you move it a little closer, right, you can then read the card pretty clearly, right, like that. So maybe I just kind of do that, where I just move the card underneath the camera as it's the character's turn, right? So at least for this game, but there's a lot of different games that we could play using this setup. But yeah, I actually installed the other camera, let's see, in the ceiling there. So now I've got a ceiling camera. So and so yeah, kind of one of the goals is here, at least in our household, maybe starting to live stream some of our game nights. Right? Maybe we set up a game of Nemesis, and you guys can just hear us kind of bullshit and play a game. Right? And obviously we won't use the little short camera here. We'll just use the table camera and hook up a microphone so you guys could hear everybody. So I think it'll be fun, do little live streams of different games, and then publish them up here on YouTube for people to watch, hang out with my friends and watch us play some games, So, but that's Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship. If it looks good, try to find a copy. It's pretty damn hard to find right now. And Aaron, I know you're out there, so if this one looks interesting to you, we can totally play it one day when you come over. So, but without further ado, I'm going to call it quits. My throat's hurting, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.